Oh, hello. Okay, good, that's working. Two things. There's gonna be an annoying fan noise. You know what? I'm gonna turn it off. I'll turn it off for right now. There we go. I am filming this again because I haven't posted in ages, and I realized I should either do that or never do it again. Do you know what I mean? When you reach that point. Also, I'm sorry about the fan above me, but I have a dog who is recovering from surgery, and I will explain all of that. I'm trying to remember. You know what? Last year was simultaneously the longest and somehow the fastest in so many ways. Okay. So, I didn't post anything in a very long time because first we were having a pandemic and it was crazy. Like, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about not going out, not doing things, not putting on makeup. I was doing really good at running for a while. I did eventually manage to get some camping done, which was wonderful. But especially with work, because everybody had to go to Zoom and I do transcription for my day job, it was crazy. I have remnants. Oh no. I just still feel sticky. I definitely still have gloss on. I don't care anymore. I've washed my face like 4 times today. Anyway, an adventure. That's what we'll call it. Okay. You start with the hard thing first and then go from there. Let's see how that does. I'm just gonna do my evening skincare, and when I'm done, I'm going to sleep. This is the Kiehl's Lip Balm number 1. I don't know if they have. I can't remember if they have more than one. Squeezy tube. When you squeeze it out, it looks like just petroleum jelly. I don't know what's in here. There's a bunch of stuff. I mean, yeah, petroleum jelly is totally in there, but there's other, I don't know. Listen, I've learned a lot of things about skincare, including there are a bunch of dermatologists that are like, actually, did you know that petroleum jelly is an effective moisturizer? So everything we've been learning about skincare in the last 10 years has basically been marketing floof, but we weren't shocked by that. I love how this angle really highlights that I've been coping with the last 6 months with a lot of chocolate. A lot of chips. It happens. I also, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, have a beautiful stress rash. That has been the state of my last 6 months. First part of the pandemic, yeah, it sucked. It sucked. It sucked for everybody because we didn't know what was happening. And we still don't 100% know what's happening. Now there's variants. It's all very crazy. But, okay, so, how do I even, you know what, sometimes you just gotta rip off the Band-Aid, right? That's what they say. Ooh, is that empty? No. Okay. Into the empties box. That's probably why it was sat there, so that I would do that. I didn't do that. I'm gonna put on my eye cream, which, yes, I know, because I've been watching an intense amount of Cassandra Bankson videos. It's just moisturizer that you could put all over your face, but it's more expensive. But actually, this is a Paragone MD. This is the Coal Plasma for eyes. It's really nice and moisturizing and soothing, which is wonderful. remember I didn't want to post a video last year when... Okay, so basically at the end of July, our dog buddy had bum leg. Just seemed like a bum leg, like he pulled something, it was fine. But then he was in a lot of pain and he had to go to the vet. And they found a lump. And a month to the day he was gone. And it was very fast. It was very fast. And it was hard. It was a really hard one. He had an appointment to go to Prince Edward Island a few days after my birthday, and I was actually in the woods camping with my friends last year, which was wonderful. I have very good people around me. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing for crying. He went to the island, Prince Edward Island. There's a really good, amazing vet school. That's where they have all the really important specialists in the oncology department and everything. And they, even if they'd seen it the day it was found, like just the placement, it was in his underarm. It was a mast cell tumor, and it just, because of the placement, they wouldn't have been able to close it properly. Like, it just, yeah, so. And, and then, that was followed by Socks stress eating a nail off. And then dealing with that. And then that one grew back. And then she ate another one, or she weakened the other one, or she just kind of like eaten both of them. I don't 100% know. And then it just wouldn't, it wouldn't heal, and she had an infection, and it just kept dragging on. And then we think we have it figured out. It seems to have been like just her allergies went crazy, probably because of stress, because she lost her companion dog. And after we lost Buddy, this sounds really awful, but about a week later, because of everybody adopting dogs because of COVID, all of a sudden people thinking that they'll have time for dogs, because I mean, let's face it, a lot of people aren't going to be going back to work like in the office possibly at all. Like, there's loads of people that are just going to be working essentially remotely now, which is, I mean, I've worked remotely for years. I actually, this is my favorite part about my job. Oh my god, if you ever see these, it's an insulated travel mug by Coleman. It's definitely more of a cold drink thing. Clicky lid, I don't know how well I can show you. Little, seals reasonably well, very handy, very large. Bottle opener in the bottom, also dishwasher safe. I mean, yes, this is open here, so it's double walled. I don't know how much this is going to insulate, but like, you know what this will fit? Those giant beers that you get from craft breweries, because I don't necessarily want to put them, I don't like to keep them, like if I'm camping specifically, I don't like to keep them in the bottle because beer attracts wasps, and I have been stung many times, and more importantly, I've had beers ruined because wasps were just in it. So, anyway, very cool. So yeah, about a week after we lost Buddy, because of everybody getting the COVID dogs, and you know, we loved him so much. We loved his temperament. We loved the size of him. We loved the look of him. Everything about him. And, you know, we knew he came from really good stock, and he had something called diabetes insipidus, which isn't really diabetes, which is probably what's called insipidus. It's kind of like a kidney disorder. Lightning strike. Just, it happens. Not a big deal. Really easily treated. He had a heart murmur because he had a little hole in his heart. Again, completely, like, it happens. And his was completely stable. And even the cancer he got was, like, it just happens. Like, there's no genetic predisposition. It's just a mutation. And in fact, because he had allergies, and so we gave him Zyrtec every day, he probably actually had a little bit of relief. But genetically fantastic, really great dog, very healthy until he got cancer. So we get in touch with the breeder, and she has one of her stud dogs. She's retiring, and she likes to retire them to homes, usually of people who have other dogs of theirs or have had their dogs before. And so she said she's got this guy Banner. He's 2 and a bit years old. He is Buddy's half brother, and there's nothing wrong with him at all physically, except he had back dew claws, and he passed it on to his pups that he sired. And other than that, like, he did show amazing, really amazing, very eager to please. He's been a challenge though, because he was a kennel dog, of course, because when you have dogs that you breed, you want to keep them in the kennels, I guess, because it stops, like, when you have, especially when you have intact males, like, they want to fight and, you know, bone without thought. This is the Ordinary's lactic acid. Yes, I have a breakout. Should put this on my face. Probably not. But some of my face is just dry, and I don't know. I'm putting this on. Where I'm going with tonight. Anyway, so we brought him home on October 1st. All through this, Socks has been, you know, we knew that we needed to, oh, it was bad. Socks was not okay when we lost Buddy. Just really lost, clearly very depressed, didn't even want to go for, you know, W's, her favorite thing in the world. And yeah, because she got really sick because he was her brave, and now she has to be Banner's brave, which is almost comical. But they get on amazingly well, really, really well. He's getting a little braver, but he grew up with an older dog that was really grumpy, really territorial, and the only one in her entire history of dogs that is food aggressive. Anyway, oh, this was Biro, the tomato serum. Still getting BoxyCharm. Still really enjoying it. I'm gonna try out the premium for a couple months and see if it's actually worth it. I will say this, based on the first 2 months, I'm not really convinced, to be perfectly honest. Mostly because, like, I will say this, the only thing that's really annoyed me is I wish that they had, like, a checklist of things that you're like, I don't want. Like, I don't want face palettes at all. Like, I don't want them. They're not a thing I like. Like, don't send them to me. I'm really not gonna use them. And I understand that it's, based on but I'm very fair. So any face palette that you send me, if you're sending the same color out to everybody, like they sent one by a company called Ace Beauty, really wonderful, like it's a beautiful palette. I couldn't use any of the shades, they were all too dark. And that said, I'm fairly certain it's because of the fact that I think it's a minority owned brand. I think it's a black owned brand. I think. Because it was all of a sudden they were featuring a load of black owned brands that they weren't before. And that's, awesome. Could have done that anyway. Could have been brands you used anyway. Which actually was. I will say this. I feel like that one was a brand they were seeing a lot anyway. And they make really nice looking eyeshadow palettes. For me, I don't have a use for a face palette. And honestly, if there was a way to just like opt out, honestly, of the eyeshadow palettes even for a few months. Because like the thing is, like some months you will get none. And then one month I got an eye palette and a face palette. And I'm like, that's a lot of palettes. Speaking of which, I am currently working through doing a bit of a declutter in my makeup collection for the first time ever. Because when you're somebody who has been in a position where you didn't have a lot of money, you tend to like hoard. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about it, like hoard. It's really hard to let go of stuff. I've seen so many people mention that it's really hard to get rid of stuff. This is the Hydra Glow Sleep Serum by a company called Mine Tan Body Skin. I'm just peeling back the label because I'm trying to. It's hard because the label goes all the way around, so it's really hard to. Oh, okay. Yeah, the label is really opaque, and it's starting to come off anyway. I was trying to figure out. It's a weird, like it's a serum. It's a triple action hyaluronic serum for all skin types. I don't know. I'm like halfway through this. I'm gonna say this. So this is the only thing in their whole line that doesn't contain any sort of like tanning stuff. And I mean, it's nice. Like I also remember looking at the price of it and I'm like, I don't know. I like the smell of it. It smells kind of like fruit. It has that sort of like maybe green apple smell. I don't know. It's nice enough. So anyway, mostly his biggest issues are he's terrified of people and other dogs, so we got a trainer in and learned some great skills, but he's also clumsy, so clumsy, and he's only 2, right? So he's in that, when you have a dog, you start with a puppy, and then about 8 months to a year, they really seem like they've hit adult dog stage, and then sort of like 2.5, you hit that, teenager rebound stage, and then they settle in to adult doghood. That's been my experience. And Banner is going to be 3 on May 16th, which is also Sox' birthday, which is really delightful. I really, really love that. So Sox will be 11 this year, and Banner will be 3. So, and what else? So Sox continuing the drama, had this issue with this toenail, then she developed this whole other thing that turned out to be fine. It's just like a keratinous lesion, which is a weird like lump thing, and is basically, from what I understand, a mole. I don't think it is a mole. They're not the same, but it looks like a mole. I don't know, but I gotta test it because I always get anything I find. I get it poked, I get it checked, I get it tested. This is the L'Occitane Comfort Cream, the light one. I finished up the regular one ages ago now. This is really nice. It's still like, it's a really basic moisturizer, and I like it. Smells nice. I wouldn't really bother to repurchase. I've enjoyed it. And after the last one, I had a Vichy one that I finished. Vichy? The one that I finished that was meant to be a night cream as well. Like, that was actually meant to be a night cream. And I'd wake up in the morning, my skin would just feel like a little parched. Like, it was weird too because it was almost solid, right? This one, I go heavy-handed on it, but I will say it does make my skin feel moisturized, although I am probably gonna throw an oil on top. I think that's the thing that I'm a little butthurt about, is that like the BoxyCharm, you get a lot of serums. You get some moisturizers too, but you mostly seem to get, as far as skincare is concerned, is just like a butt ton of serums. And I think it's a really great way to like, you know, blow up the cost of the box. But I would really love if it came with like some more body products, because they sell body products. Because I have bought a few things from them. I would say personally, for me, I'm gonna give it one more month of the premium, and then I'm probably just gonna go back to normal, and then just if there's any products on their add-on shop that I like, that I've been eyeballing, I just purchase them, because honestly, it's so inexpensive, and I give myself a limit. I said, listen, you can't be ridiculous. Although I will say, certain things like the PMD devices that they have on there, if you believe in them and you think they work and whatever, I'm not going to argue with you about what you think will work for you. I don't think we're arguing. We're friends. It's fine. They do seem to put, fairly good discount on. It's just interesting. Like, I don't understand, like, these, I don't know. Anyway, but I signed up for they do a quarterly luxe version. But I'm gonna be really honest with you, like that winds up being something like $75. So basically what happens is every 3 months, instead of getting the regular one, you only get the luxe version. Or rather I should say, instead you get the luxe version, but just every 3 months. So you don't get the regular box, instead you get the luxe version. And it wasn't that good. Like, it wasn't, like, the products themselves, they chose, like, you know what it is, they always show tools and like expensive, and like the thing was, I looked at one of them, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like one of them, they did like the PMD body scrubby brush thing. I was like, that's great, I've been wanting to buy that. Honestly, that would, right there, I was planning, I was really considering, and that's like $150 American. So if I could have gotten it for $75 and then whatever else came in the box, I was like really excited. But I didn't get a box that came with any beauty tools, if I remember correctly, which was obnoxious. Yeah. I will say I did purchase off of there. They have that knockoff version of the Nurse Jamie face roller, the one with the rivets in it. I don't know how to explain that. If I ever actually figure out how to edit, I'll put a photo of it, but I'm trash. Although I did download some editing software, so And I know that it's capable of being pretty powerful because I downloaded it based on somebody who I watch. Who is it? Oh God. Oh, and now I can't even think of her name. She's got this amazing silvery gray hair. Oh, and I love watching her. I can't remember. Hey, editing Sarah, if you're actually editing. How's about you put the name or the channel link here, right on your face? Not gonna do it, I know. I'll forget. I'll try to remember. You know, I'll do what I can. And I'll link to the Nurse Jamie thing so that you can see what it is. It's a concept, but I bought the knockoff brand that normally sells it for like $30, and I think the Nurse Jamie one is like $150. You know what? I'll just throw the links in the description because I definitely know how to do that. I used to know how to do the links thing in YouTube when I used to use the editing software on YouTube to do it, but things are different now, and different things are weird. Anyway. Ooh, I wonder if it's skipped onto a second file. That would be weird. Anyway. What else? Moisturizer. Oh, I'm gonna do oil. So, socks went in for surgery yesterday because it turns out that after all of this nonsense, we did some x-rays to make sure she wasn't having a bone infection on her weird foot that wouldn't heal because of nail. It would grow back. It would grow back in like a little piece, and it would like fall out, and it was super infected, and she was on antibiotics, different antibiotics, literally since September, which is not good. And anyway, so now we have sent in. She was in surgery yesterday, so I'm not explaining this very well, but a couple weeks ago she had to go back in again because it was still infected, and it was really awful, and it had her in like a week beforehand, and when the vets had said it's just an infection, it's not an infection, it's just an allergy, you can just leave it, and like her toe is smelly and clearly infected, but fine, okay. So but it kept bothering me, and then I've got a girlfriend who's a vet in Guelph, and I was like, so this is what's happening, I don't know what to do about it, does this make sense to you? And she's like, you need to take her back in. I was like, okay, because like I knew her foot smelled weird, and the vet that I went back to see was like, yeah, her toe's really infected, like I smelled it as soon as I came in the room. I was like, listen, I know it's gross. I was like, this isn't me neglecting my dog, this is I keep bringing her in and I get different answers every time. And anyway, in the end, we x-rayed it, which is expensive, but not that expensive because she didn't need to be put to sleep for that. Because normally you have to sedate dogs when you're x-raying them. Most dogs need sedation. Banner needs sedation. Banner needs a lot of sedation. That poor little guy, he's on Prozac because he gets too wound. He just cannot. Anyway, I'm just gonna throw in some pistachio oil hydrating hand cream, which is, I bought this off of the BoxyCharm, and I like it. It's really nice, but I really like it for a foot cream. I really like it for a foot cream, and it was only like $7, so that's awesome. Anyway, so yesterday socks had the toe amputated, because last week like 2 weeks ago, anyway, not that long ago, but not yesterday, I'd taken her in again for a recheck, and just the vet that was looking at it was like, I don't like this. It's like, we were just talking about it. It's like, I'm concerned that, this infection seems, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I would like to, just make sure it's not progressed into the bone. It's like, oh, well, we did x-rays a couple weeks ago. It's like, oh, well, we should look at those. And he did the comparison. He's like, so, he was like, we're looking for something called bone, I think he said bone racing, if that makes sense. And, I don't know what that means. I should probably look it up. But basically, there are 3 main things that we were, and still are, concerned because we don't have the pathology back yet, that it could be. One is a squamous cell carcinoma. I think that's it. Or is it a sarcoma? Carcinoma. Is it squamous cell? Anyway, the one we don't want it to be is melanoma, which I think is pretty much, you never want that. That's that kind of skin cancer. We want it to be this sarcoma thingy that's a black dog specific cancer, because they already have trouble getting adopted, so let's just give them a brand specific cancer. That seems fair. Or something called osteomyelitis, which is an aggressive bone infection. So she may have had this infection and it developed internally. She might not have actually developed it externally. Probably. We'll never know. But, stuff happens. That's closed. Anyway. So she's recovering from surgery. I am still trying to work really hard, although with all this going on, I've really struggled to focus and to work effectively. Which, honestly, I think is a lot of people in the last year, but we'll see what we can do. I think I'm just suffering from a bit of burnout just with everything. It's a lot. It's a lot. Ugh. It's like the 3rd cancer scare, if I'm really honest. She started having trouble being able to control her bladder, not peeing everywhere, just when she sleeps and she really, really relaxes. Totally normal. Really simple fix. It's a medication, twice a day. It's a chewy tablet. But the vet I had to see, because my vet wasn't available, just casually went, it could be this, it could be that, it could be cancer. I'm like, what? It's like, it's probably not cancer. Well, you just said cancer, so now, rather than farting around, I need to rule it out. And we double checked and everything looks good. My girlfriend, the vet, recommended the ultrasound anyway. She's like, I always like to recommend the ultrasound because I don't want to take the chance that it's not bladder cancer, because she had a dog with bladder cancer and she kept having issues and kept having issues and kept having issues. And she is a vet, so she has access to, specialist ultrasound folk. A lot easier than I do. Anyway, everything went well. That's fine. She just pees if she doesn't eat her pills and has to sleep super hard. She's currently attempting to. Yeah. And now I'm gonna go to bed. If I had to leave you with one very important thing, our animals are incredibly precious. And I don't know how I would have gotten through, this whole year without them. I also do not know how I ever got through the loss of an animal without another animal to hug. I really don't know how I ever did that. And Buddy was 5. But Socks has been and is my rock, which I know that's probably sad. But we went to a lab in Ontario, so we should have the pathology back by Tuesday at the latest, hopefully. But Ontario is a huge hotspot for COVID right now, so I don't know. Anyway, I had hit 100 subscribers, and I had this whole plan that when I did that, I was going to have some kind of a giveaway or something. If you're watching this, it would be really cool if you could let me know. I'm thinking maybe like an Amazon gift card or something like that, I think would be the most useful, but then I know some people are like super anti-Amazon, so I don't know, like maybe one of those prepaid Visa cards. I think that'd be, I don't know what would be the most useful. Maybe I should just like do it and then like get the person to choose. Maybe that makes the most sense. Anyway, that was my plan. So, this is not the video for that. I will definitely like title, like I'll put giveaway in the title so that people like understand. Although I feel weird about it because like there's like 100 of you, and so there's probably at least 6 real accounts in there. And I don't know. I feel like when people do giveaways, they do it because they want to drive their subscriber count up. Because like, let's face it, that's what people do. And you get people to subscribe, and then, you know, after the giveaway, hopefully they stick around, but usually they don't. And yeah. But anyway, oh, by the way, this is an Udi. I'll put it on. It's ridiculous. It's going to screw up the color balance real bad. There we go. It's like a full. This is not a real Udi, I should say. Because I don't know what it is. The ones on the actual website, like the actual Udi website, they seem to be like knee length or below on most people. This is just like this is like the equivalent of a 3X sweatshirt. Like this isn't that big. It was big, don't get me wrong. It's not like that big. But yeah. Pillows. There we go. Super cozy. I've been basically living in this thing. It is like living in a warm, soft hug. And that's what I've needed for the last little bit. On that note, I am currently, like I said, I'm decluttering my makeup and skincare. I'm trying to use things. Although I am doing BoxyCharm, I'm actually not actively buying anything right now. I'm letting that subscription tick, because for me, that's actually been a huge highlight. I did a couple of like coffee like subscription, like I did like one time to like test them out. That was really fun at the beginning of the pandemic. I have a tea subscription that I really like. I don't know if I have a referral code. I have a couple things with referral codes. I'll throw them down below if you're interested. That usually involves like giving people like points or like, I don't know, something free stuff, blah, blah, blah. You know, you can go directly. If you don't want to do anything with referral codes, you don't have to. I don't care. But it'll at least give you links to the websites. And then, Dollar Tea Club out of Toronto. Really, really delicious. Some of them. I really recommend the Swedish Mint. Anyway, me and my stress rash and my 3-toed dog. Not 3 toes total, just on the 1 foot. I told the groomer I had to call him for the second time in the last year to say that one of our dogs possibly has cancer and just gonna have like a little just moment and back in a few weeks. I'm like, I really hope that's true. But then immediately he got really upset and he's like, that happened to one of my dogs. And then everything seemed good and we had the toe removed and everything was healing up. And then 3 weeks later, it wasn't healing. And then there was a lump and then she was dead. Like, you know, and like, I'm now petrified. That was longer than I intended. Oh, good. Good. I'm back to the old ways. I'm gonna do a short video. 40 minutes later. Sorry, guys. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, if you're seeing this and it's still February to, say, mid-March, then yeah, just drop a comment below. What would actually be useful to you? Like, you know, it wouldn't be a large amount because cancer dog. But you know what? If you have something in mind, if there would be, you know, I don't know, if like an Amazon gift card would be better, or like Sephora, or, you know, Visa, you know, then yeah, just let me know what would be useful, and I'll kind of, if I get a couple of bits of input, I will totally, you know, I will go with that. We'll do that. Obviously, if, you know, somebody has a super objection to like one particular company in the end, I'll do. Anyway, just give me some ideas. I just have some idea to work out logistics. Anyway, thank you guys. I say anyway so much, don't I? Oh my Jesus. Right? Stress rash, hormonal breakout. Just, I'm living the dream. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. That's still not fixed either. And it didn't leak for ages, and then the last time that we had a rainstorm, 3 days later it leaked. What the fuck? Night, guys. Bye.